Bowl Sunday in 2012. Sucker!
Yeah, small talk. I was trying to whoop your ass.
You bougie. This is not how it happened at all. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a very special one to me. I have a special guest here. You guys ask for him often. My husband, Dion, here. So we can talk about our love story. Our love story. Today's video, what?
Our arranged marriage.
Oh my God. Today's video is how we met and got married in 6 months.
5 months.
5 months. 5 months, 6 months. Well, I thought it would be nice to have this video up on the channel around Valentine's Day, so I thought now would be the perfect time to talk about our love story. How we met, our 5-month whirlwind romance. No. So, let's get right into the video. I'll let you tell the beginning half, your version of how we met.
Okay.
On the day we met.
On the day we met. Alright, what was it? Super Bowl. I forget who was playing. I'm pretty sure it was with the Patriots and...
I don't remember. It was Super Bowl Sunday 2012.
Yeah, 2012. So me and my homegirl Damo, shout out to Damo.
Hi Damo.
Yeah.
I think she follows the channel too.
Do she?
I think so.
Hey Damo.
Hey Damo.
So we went AJ Gators in Norfolk. So me and Damo had a table, you know, so we were just sitting there and then see this little thing, she walked by, you know.
I did not walk by you.
You know, asked to buy me a drink, you know.
No. This is not how it happened at all.
In my mind.
This is not how it happened at all.
Yeah. So I told her I wasn't drinking that night.
What? No. We're not even gonna go. No, you telling stories. All right, this is how it happened. So Super Bowl Sunday in 2012, I didn't want to go at all. I had no intentions on going out. I was supposed to go out with a coworker, and then I was trying to flake on her actually, because that's how I do. And she was like, no, I'm going out. I'm tired of being in the house. Our dogs are all in the room. So if you hear extra sounds, that's what it is. She was like, no, I'm not staying in the house. We're going out. So we went to this restaurant that turns into a bar in the evening, and on Super Bowl Sunday it turned into a bar, and it was called AJ Gators in Norfolk, Virginia. If you're military or know the area, it was off of Granby Street, right?
Yeah.
Yep, AJ Gators off of Granby Street is no longer there anymore. But we went there. I ordered me some wings. We were sitting at the bar because it was the only place to sit. I had wings and I had, you know, a little cocktail, I think.
You ain't?
I had me some wings. Yeah. And
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then
because she has barbecue sauce on it.
No, I didn't. So while I was
yeah, get that out.
Yeah.
Here's a lie.
No, shut up. So while I was eating, well, I was done eating, I think. Me and her were just sitting there hanging out at the bar. I noticed him when he walked by me you were saying bye or somebody. I just noticed that you walked by. You noticed? Yeah, I noticed that he walked by me because it was people next to me that he was actually, like, you were saying bye to somebody or something. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, between me and my coworker at the time, friend at the time, he came and was like, hey, how y'all doing?
No,
y'all alright? You need anything?
That ain't how I talk.
No, he had his country twang.
No, but what did I say to you?
You said, hey, how y'all doing? You need anything? That's what you said.
Okay.
And so, next thing I know, I'm looking at him like this. He greeted us like we were at his house. I was already like, nope, I don't need anything actually. And he was pulling up a chair to like sit behind us, but in between me and my friend sitting at the bar. Yeah. So I'm looking at him and I looked at her like, do you know him? Like, why is this random dude just pulling up a chair? I don't know, he just started talking from there. I noticed that he had a very country accent, and I remember like asking him where he's from because it was very thick. Very thick, huh? Yeah, your accent was very thick country accent. I don't know, we ended up hanging out and talking all night from there, me, him, and her. And then Damo ended up coming over. And Damo, I remember her specifically that night too, because I don't know, she was sitting on the side of me and she was like, "You bougie."
You bougie.
I don't even know you.
Yeah.
And so after we all kind of hung out and was talking and laughing and we had a couple drinks and stuff, we ended up going to play pool.
Yeah.
And when we played pool, that's when I knew that I liked something about him, because usually, you know, when guys are trying to play pool and stuff, they trying to get all up on your butt and show you how to use the pool stick and which balls to hit and stuff. But he was very interested in where I saw myself in 5 years and just getting to know me. And then he wasn't all over me.
Yeah, small talk. I was trying to whoop your ass.
In pool? Yeah, it was like real cool just to, you know, be around a dude who wasn't all up in my face, all over me or anything like that. And we could just talk and just chill. Do you want to tell what happened at the end of us playing pool? You don't even remember. When we were all about to leave and go home, the game was over, we were done playing pool and all this stuff. He was like, "So can I get your phone number?"
Yeah, it's for your number.
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can have my number." Y'all, he was like, "Okay, cool. Anybody got a piece of paper and a pen?" And everybody turned to him like, "What? What?" I was like, "A piece of paper?"
Piece of paper.
Like, a piece of paper in 2012? Where's your cell phone, sir?
I'm looking for a pen and shit.
Yeah, he was like,
You get a piece of paper.
"You got a piece of paper and a pen?" I was like, what kind of country mess is this?
See, that's when I knew I was slipping. I'm always prepared. I didn't have nothing on me.
We got a good laugh about that, but he was like, "Yeah, you know, I need a piece of paper and a pen so you can write down your number, so when we get old, I can show our grandkids this was the number you gave when we met."
Yeah, y'all can use that bullshit. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, got him.
So
Yeah.
that was the first night that we met. And then as soon as he got in his car, y'all, we weren't even out of the parking lot and he called me.
Remember she burped a while back?
No.
This is the lie.
No,
Go ahead.
you did call me.
I did.
He called me before we left the parking lot, and
What'd I say to you?
I don't even remember. I remember I was wanting more food at that point and we was about to go to McDonald's or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we met.
She's trying to act hard. It was
Oh,
not
yeah.
as
Yeah.
dreamy as she made it sound.
Yeah,
that
it
was hard
wasn't.
damn work.
I was very mean to him in the
Yeah.
beginning. That night I was just like,
She was feeling herself.
no, I was trying to figure out why this random dude is pulling up a chair and just starting to talk to me. And you guys, I had been single for a while at that point, and I had made up in my mind that I wasn't going to be dating anybody. I didn't want to be with anybody. Nobody was ever going to be good enough. You know, that wall you build up once you get out of a bad relationship. And that's where I was comfortable just being alone. I had made up in my mind I was going to be alone and I wasn't going to have any children. And look at how things have changed.
Look how things have changed.
Yes. Look at how things have changed.
Yeah.
And I was 25 then, and
Woo.
he was 32.
Same age again.
But that's how we met. It was February 5th, 2012. Super Bowl Sunday.
February 5th, 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So pretty much from there though, we spent it was like a week before I saw him again.
No, it wasn't.
It was that following weekend when I finally saw you again. Because you invited me over. He said,
yeah.
"I'll cook for you. Would you like to come over?"
Oh, yeah, I did. I cooked some spaghetti.
See? And he set up showing me like pictures from his deployment and stuff, and we sat up and talked about everything all night long.
Yeah. And then the next time I talked to you, I can't come over. My hair done. She came over looking like, who did it?
No, I didn't.
Your hair was all kind of.
I was not.
That perm was.
I was relaxed.
I
was not.
Ooh.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was bad then.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No, I knew.
Came over and she never left.
He was begging me to come over to his place.
Woo!
You was.
What?
Yeah, you was.
How was I begging you?
You was like, come on. You want me to come and pick you up?
Oh,
I was sick. Remember, I was hoarse. I remember being so hoarse, and he was like, you need somebody to take care of you. Sucker. Yeah, you was
sucker.
You wanted to come pick me up to bring me to your house so you could take care of me. And that was like after a week. But also I knew then too, it was one we talked. Dang, Diesel.
Is he sleep?
Yeah, Diesel sleep by my feet. Also, in that short time, we had sat up talking or something all night, and I fell asleep over his house. And I remember telling you, like, I don't like using other people's washcloths and stuff like that, because I think about it sliding through somebody's crack. I just don't, you know. And so because I fell asleep, he woke up early. I'm a sleeper, and so I slept in. When I woke up, y'all, he had went to the store. He went to Kmart and he got me a towel, fresh towel, washcloths, toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash, lotion, everything I needed, because I didn't have intentions on spending the night at his house or anything.
Sure, you didn't have any intentions.
I would have bought my own stuff if I had intentions on staying.
You would have went home.
Shut up.
You had a plan too, girl. You be like, I'm the only sucker.
You are the only sucker. Whatever.
You tired of going to them late night runs to Walmart.
Shut up. I thought it was so sweet that he went out and got me everything that I needed to make me comfortable.
Yeah, how did you feel though?
I appreciated it.
No, how did the rag feel?
Oh, it was a rough one, but it was the thought that counted, that you went out and got everything that I would need when I woke up. And he was cooking breakfast.
Sucker shit.
Yeah, you was a sucker. I got you.
No. I wasn't no sucker. That's what grown people do.
That's right. You know what? You was a grown gentleman. And I like that. And he was very honest with me about stuff, and I appreciated that. It caught me off guard that he was as honest as he was, but I really do appreciate all of that honesty and stuff. He was such a sweet guy, and it was very refreshing for me.
I'm glad that I could do that for you, young lady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so after like all of that in the beginning, over like the next few months, we pretty much spent every single day together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You tell them how you got your car towed.
Oh yeah. At one point in the beginning, yeah, he didn't tell me I needed a decal for his apartment complex, and he went to the window and was like, "Man, fuck." Like, what is happening?
So I know I parked that car over there.
He got my car towed. And we was up at like 2 o'clock in the morning going to get my car.
$125. I'm still trying to get that back.
Yeah, a lot of dudes probably would have been like, well, your car got towed. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? I'm gonna drop you on off now.
He took care of it though.
Sure did.
Pretty much, we just spent pretty much every day together. It wasn't until March where we really had the conversation about making things official.
Official tissue.
Yeah. And then we said, I love you for the first time in April. It was right before my birthday. You remember?
Sucker shit.
He was hugging me and he just looked down at me and was like,
how'd I look down at you?
He was just like, because you was holding me.
Yeah.
And I was hugging you and he was like, I love you. And I was like, so tell them how you told me you love me.
Well,
the camera died, y'all, so I don't know where it cut off at, but
I'm sorry, I gotta we was in the bed.
No, this is not even right. Go ahead, tell these people a lie. We weren't in the bed.
Ooh.
We were standing in the driveway at my dad's house.
So I was holding you in my arms in the driveway.
We was hugging.
Of your daddy, huh?
Yeah, we were hugging.
I see your dad.
And you looked back at me and you said, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. And that's how it went. You talking about we was in the bed. What was we doing in the bed when you said,
oh, thank you. I don't.
You don't remember. And so after, that was April when we said I love you for the first time. Do you want to tell the next part in July?
What happened in July?
You asked me to marry you.
I sure did.
So in July.
Driving down 664.
No, it was 264.
264.
In July is when things really propelled us to the next.
I'm gonna be completely honest because as funny as it may sound, I was coming from Washington State, coming to Virginia. I said to myself, I'm gonna leave here and I'm gonna find my wife. I just had that. It was just one of those. It just, you know, it was natural. It was nothing that was forced. It was just one of those things where it's like I knew, kind of like that night when I was whooping your ass on the pool table.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so we were driving down the street, and before then we was actually I was getting ready to go on deployment for 9 months. So we was talking about after I get back, you know, what we're gonna try to do. And I was like, I'm trying to go to the West Coast. You need to just come with me, whatever the case may be. So it just started on those kind of terms. So
yeah.
And I was
talking a lot.
just talking, just trying to figure everything out. And I was like, well, you just need to come on with me. You know, we're going to get married and we can do this thing.
Yeah, cut off the radio.
Oh, yeah. How I do it.
He cut off the radio.
Yeah.
He was like, we were on the expressway, y'all. A few months before, like when we decided to make everything official, he had, you know, asked me, would I bring my walls down because I was a hard one.
Yeah.
We had the conversation about me bringing my walls down, and he was like, let's just see where things go. Mm-hmm. We don't have anything to lose. You know, we're comfortable with each other. Let's just see where things go. That was in March. So in July, I was very comfortable with him. When he cut off that radio, we were on the expressway to go and get an iPod from somebody on Craigslist because he was about to go out to sea.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He cut off the radio and he was driving and he turned to me and he was like, I love you. I want to be with you. Will you marry me? And that's how everything happened. And I was just like,
in the damn car, rushing the...
Yeah, in the Twilight Zone, in the car, rushing them. We were rushing to the Virginia Beach oceanfront to go get this iPod so he could have some music on the ship when he went out to sea. Yeah. And it was just so many emotions for me, I know, because I was just like, what is happening? Yeah, I'll marry you. And it was a very exciting moment. And then we got back home. At that time, we were pretty much living together. He had to leave that night to go out to sea. So he left, and I was just like, I'm getting married. It was so, like, I was just like, is this real life? Like, life changed so fast, and it was like a drastic change for me in such a short period of time. And I was so happy. And on the ship, he couldn't call, so we were emailing back and forth, and he had to leave for a month.
It was something like that.
Yeah, it was like a month. He had, or 3 weeks, something like that. He had to leave for. I was just kind of like sitting with it, I guess, still processing everything on my own. I was excited. I was happy. You seemed to be excited from what you were emailing me.
Yeah, everything was good. Like I say, it wasn't nothing false.
You know, everything it was very just natural feeling. Yeah, it felt like natural. This is how things go. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like, you know, people get nervous.
Yeah.
Afraid of marriage and afraid of getting married and stuff, but it was a very natural progression. Natural. Yeah, it caught everybody off guard. You want to talk about that?
Did it?
It caught everybody off guard, and well, not so much like my mom, my dad, and my sisters, like my immediate family. Yeah, were all like, "Oh, okay." It didn't seem not natural to them because they knew that we had been together. They had FaceTimed and talked to Dion. They saw how comfortable and happy I was. So my immediate family was cool.
Everybody else was that.
Yeah, everybody else was like,
the what? y'all just 2 hours y'all been
I
dating,
know,
huh?
like everybody was like, say what now?
Which is not. I don't mean to cut you off, but which is not strange for them to say or them overstepping. You know, oh, y'all only known each other for this amount of time. You're trying to get married, whatever. Anybody in their right mind would say that.
Yeah.
You know.
But they weren't in it.
Yeah, I still would say that was kind of crazy for, you know, that just don't happen.
It doesn't.
That just don't happen.
Not today. It doesn't happen for people
you know
to decide to get married so quickly.
Yeah.
And it lasts.
Yeah. And it's like
I think that's what everybody was afraid of. Like, this looks like a train wreck waiting to happen. They just met each other. Like, now they talking about getting married. And
what are they doing?
Everybody was just like, what?
Man.
What is happening? Like, it was almost at one point, it was like you could see the whispers among everybody. And I'm speaking on my side of the family, because at this point we hadn't been to Atlanta, where he's from, to see his family. And around the time we told my family, it was when everybody was coming together to have a surprise 80th birthday party for my grandma. I wasn't planning on it. I think one of my aunts threw us under the bus. I mean, she didn't throw us under the bus. She just kind of put it on blast. And I am shy when it comes to like speaking publicly.
You don't say. With your own vlog.
I'm talking to a camera and it goes on YouTube, you know? And then a lot of my followers, I feel like we have talked. And so I kind of feel like there's been an exchange. So I don't really, in the beginning it was scary. But you know, when we had our cookout last year, I had a hard time. It makes me nervous speaking to a group of people. And so I was just like, yeah, we getting married. It was just kind of like one of those things. But
come on in here and talk to me.
Yeah, it was like my uncles went and took him off to talk to him about stuff. I didn't know that was happening. And everybody kind of...
Oh, you didn't hear the whispers?
I mean, I could tell that, you know, people weren't doing things too much in my face. It was people like, now, hold up, y'all getting married, like some of my cousins or whatever. And one of my uncles did say, you know, I don't think you should be doing this. And then I had another cousin who I hadn't talked to in a while was like, oh, we need to talk. I'm going to need to have a talk with you before you do this. And I was just like, why does everybody think that they can like tell me what I'm going to do at this point? Like, this isn't up for discussion. This is what I want to do. I loved him. I love him. And it's going to happen. I'm happy and I'm going forward. I'm letting my heart lead me. For me, with, you know, everybody doing all their talking and stuff, up until that point of my life, I feel like I had played things very by the book, very safe. And when he came along, I followed my heart. I trusted my own judgment. I felt like I was a pretty good judge of character. Most of all, I was comfortable and I was in love. And that meant a lot to me. And so when everybody, well, when those who were bold enough to say something said something, I was okay, whatever. I don't really care what you have to say. And I think people have to keep that in mind. Don't try to like put your fears on somebody else's life. You know, some things that I may be afraid of, you might not be afraid of. Everybody's not afraid of the same thing. And
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm just sitting here just thinking, like, if we had a child, and I think that's where things get confused, because your family puts preconceived pressures and expectations on what they want you to do. Right. You know what I'm saying?
They make up in their mind how you're gonna live your life.
Yeah, and then
that's not fair to me.
It's not fair. And but I'm looking at, I'm like, would I be cool? Like with my daughter coming home, like after 5 months of dating, or my son coming home, and that goes to the point of knowing an individual. So me, I was a little older, and I had already, been through some things or whatever, it got to come to a point where this hasn't came up none in my life. Getting married. If anything, I despise marriage.
Yeah, he did. He wasn't a fan of marriage, or neither one of us wanted to be in a relationship, and we made that clear when we first met. I think it started out as like a we can kick it kind of thing. Like, he was new to the area. I've never been one to like go out to clubs, do a bunch of hanging out, so I didn't know a lot of people. I didn't do a lot of hanging out, and so it was just like, okay, not too serious.
And she got serious.
It got real serious real quick.
And she got serious
real quick. So he asked me to marry him. That was the beginning of July. And then originally we planned on getting married in January, and we were going to have a small little intimate wedding. Military life, that couldn't happen. Deployments, all that stuff. The plan was for us to go to Atlanta so that I can meet his family and stuff, because I had met his dad only at that point and just kind of randomly talked to other people, but I hadn't like been to physically meet them, and this was a week after he met all of my family, and so we were going the following weekend so I could meet all of his family. And on the when we were getting in the car, because it wasn't planned at all, when we were getting in the car to leave Virginia to drive down to Atlanta, I was like, do you want to just get married while we're in Atlanta?
LaTanya! Did that happen?
That's how it happened.
Oh my God!
We had just gotten the rings the week before, right? We had just gotten the rings
I thought we planned that shit.
No.
I thought we planned to go down there to get married. It started right in the car.
It started in the car again.
Hey, we was tripping. We was tripping.
And we got rid of old Kiki.
Old Kiki.
My old car.
Yeah, we was tripping.
We were in our little love bubble.
Trash.
We were in our little love bubble.
Get out of that motherfucker. No, I'm tripping.
It was so funny too, because I hadn't even made any like relationship status changes on Facebook or anything. And so a lot of people just never even knew that I was in a relationship to start with.
There you go. I don't even have Facebook.
Social media is not that big of a deal. If you're a person where relationship status is on Facebook is a big deal, you need to let that go. That's not real life.
Let it go.
But when we were going down to Atlanta, I was like,
song?
Let's grab the rings.
Yep.
And I was like, you want to get married while we're in Atlanta?
Now this is the player part about the whole situation. The rings. What did you do for like 2-3 years? Oh,
for the first, was it 3 years?
How long was it?
I don't remember how long. I mean, I just had a band.
Yeah.
It was just like a simple band with channels of diamonds.
And that was one of the things where
because there was no ring.
Yeah, there really was no ring, so it was like, okay, we going down to Atlanta. She just popped off. We gonna go get married. All right, cool. Traditionally,
that was on a Thursday.
So traditionally, you'll want to at least have a ring in mind, or but we made the conscious decision to, even though we was rushing, not necessarily rushing, but we was doing this on
faster.
Yeah, we would look and give that some time.
Right.
To actually find something that she actually really wanted.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff, if you've never been ring shopping before, a lot of stuff looks the same. Yeah. And I knew for my ring, I wanted something that was simple yet classic, not too big on my hand, that fits my hand perfectly. I knew I wanted something low profile, which was very hard to find. I knew that I wanted something with a solitaire, because I'm just not a fan of the kind of cluster look,
Say how you feel.
Yeah, I knew for me personally, that's fine if that's what everybody else wants, but for me and the ring that I wanted, I knew that I wanted something low profile. I knew that I wanted a solitaire diamond and not like the illusion of a bigger or cluster or whatever.
Yeah.
I just knew for me, I didn't want that look. I saw a lot of that, and it seemed like it was everywhere. And so, yeah. And then for a while, I did just look at rings where it was just the stone, the solitaire, and that was it. But I felt like that was a little too plain for me. I wanted something going on or whatever. It took me a minute to find a ring that I felt like I want to have this ring. And it's the ring that I have now. And this one, we saw it in the summertime. There was only 2 of them. We saw it in summertime, and then I ended up getting it like 6 months later or something.
Yeah.
It was something that I knew that I wanted. It was something that came up on my mind, because it was one of those things where, like, if I pick one, is it going to be something else out there that I'm going to like later on? And that's what I think kind of held me up too.
Yeah. Damn, on a Thursday.
Yeah, so on a Thursday, we got in the car to go down to Atlanta so that I can meet his family. That was
Ooh.
something else. So when we got to Atlanta and I met his family, it was a warm welcome initially, but things went south.
Yeah.
Things went south when we started talking about marriage.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Y'all supposed to come down here for, hey, how you doing?
His dad was not happy about us getting married. Yeah. So his dad was not happy about us getting married. It really hurt my feelings. He hurt my feelings that night when we came down there. Everybody else in the house was like, oh, so excited and stuff, because we were like, oh yeah, we decided we're going to get married tomorrow.
Boy,
we were like, yeah, we're gonna get married tomorrow. He was like, yeah, we've been talking about getting married, and at first it was like, okay, you know, kind of head nod, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna get married tomorrow, and it was just like, what now?
Mm-hmm.
Say what now? I had already told my mom. My mom knew it. Of course, everybody wanted to be a part of it, but at that time, I was like, it's not about anybody else.
It's about us.
It's about us. And this is what we want to do. We're in love. We want to get married. We're happy. It felt natural. Nobody was. Were you nervous at that point? We weren't nervous or anything. And so,
woke up the next day like it was nothing.
Yeah, that night before, it was a very emotional night for me.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, ooh, I was insulted. My feelings were hurt, and yeah, I was just like, so the next morning though, we got up to go to the courthouse in Atlanta, in Decatur. And it was just like it was like waking up to go to breakfast.
Yeah.
It was just the most calmest morning. It was.
Marriage is a solemn obligation. It means giving up certain rights and liberties in exchange for new joys and happiness. And by appearing for this ceremony today, you indicate that you wish to enter into the marriage relationship. Marriage is an acknowledgement of your friendship, love, and trust for each other. And your exchange of marriage vows is an expression of your desire to continue this commitment of friendship, love, and trust. Orlando, do you take LaTonya to be your lawful wedded wife? And do you promise to be a loving and faithful and devoted husband in plenty and in want, in joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health?
It was very easy. Nothing felt strained or forced. Like everything that happened the night before was just what happened the night before. We didn't wake up with that.
And as you're saying that right now, and thinking back at it, right? So that whole, and that's why I said earlier, when family has a idea of what, you know, how they want you to get married and start your family or whatever the case may be. And that was one of the things with my parents. You know, they was the ones that they wanted, you know, the whole thing, want you to have the nice job, get the house, get the wife, get the, you know what I'm saying? So things wasn't fitting into
what they envisioned.
what they envisioned. And
not your mom.
No,
my Jada boo was point.
You know, but like you say,
very sweet.
Looking back at it, would I be that same protective father? Of course. you know, but I think that me going through it, I couldn't be a hypocrite. I would have to take my feelings and what I have to take myself out of that situation. But after going through that, and it was pretty much just like, you know, we didn't come, we're not telling anybody anything or for anybody's approval. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown. She's grown, you know, we can do whatever the hell we want to do. What we're doing, we're just extending our gratitude, you know, hey, we're going to give you that common courtesy. Hey, we're getting married. We'd like you to be there, you know, whatever. If you don't show up, that's cool. But this is what we're going to do.
Right.
And I think that was one of the ones where early on, that was like a test for, is doubt going to creep in? Or is, when things get tough, are we going to bend? Are we going to fold? And I think that was one of the things where we
stood firm in.
We stood firm in how we felt about each other and what we was about to do. And then after that, I think that's why everything was just so calm. Because I think at that moment, yeah, it was a wrap. Yeah, this is what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was something. But to kind of piggyback off of what you said though, for me, I personally feel like I get where people feel like, you know, yeah, it's my child and, you know, I want to make sure they're making the best decision. But it's like at some point, right, everybody wants to pride themselves on their parenting, right? I teach my child this, I teach my child that and stuff. At what point do you allow your child to show you what you taught them? At what point do you trust that your parenting has led them in the right direction? Is it you know, it's more of like, it turns into like a personal thing for the parent.
Yeah.
When you're like questioning, you know, your child and their actions and the way they judge characters and stuff. Like if you don't feel like your child is well-rounded enough or mentally stable enough, I mean, then that has said something about, you know, your parenting, or it just says something about you and your insecurities about how you have parented that child. And what I told my family member who said something to me is, you know, well, my mom doesn't have an issue with it. My dad didn't have an issue with me getting married to him. And I think that's because they felt comfortable in me and the way I've handled myself, the way I've carried myself, and the way, you know, who I've surrounded myself with prior to. I wasn't out here, you know, running the streets and smoking weed and doing drugs and
I was.
But I wasn't that person. I've never been that wild, free spirit, just flying by the seat of my pants and stuff. Everything had been a very careful action in my life. Like everything was thought out pretty much. I didn't do those like things that parents are afraid for their children to do. So this was like the first time that I had done something that was just kind of like, oh, you know, this was a new version of me that I think that they were proud of, you know. And so now I was like, oh, I'm getting married. Us getting married did cause some challenges on the family end, but
we made up for it with them 6 goats I promised her mama.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty much our story. We got married in like 5 months time. We got married 6 months after we met, but after 5 months of dating, we got married. So that's our story of how we met, started dating, and then got married in 5 months. Now it is 2019. And we're coming up on 7 years of marriage.
Yep.
It was something. When I got married, when we got married, it was so funny though, because I hadn't made any like status changes on Facebook and stuff. So like that day, I changed my status to married. Everybody was like, what? On Facebook, when I changed my status, Dion doesn't have Facebook, but when I changed my status to married on Facebook, it caught everybody off guard. Everybody was like, what just happened? This girl got married? Like nobody knew that we were dating or anything. Yeah, I announced on Facebook that same day, and I was happy. I was excited. That's our story of how we met, started dating, and got married in 5 months.
So pretty much everything was a blur because everything was happening. It wasn't a blur, but everything was. It was happening so fast, but yet so clear, and it's just one of those things. I think
it just felt so natural.
You have to be in it.
You had to be in it.
Yeah, those. What's a good word for a out of body? Not necessarily an out of body experience, but not like a euphoria. It was like an ecstasy. It was like an ecstasy.
Yeah, it was like a high.
It was a good joint.
Yeah, it was like being on a high.
It was a good ass joint.
We were just riding out, so it wasn't like a blur.
It was all of that.
It was
wrapped
like
up and
it was like a high that we were on, and we just rode it out, and things just felt so good.
Yeah.
It felt
still
natural.
Feels good though.
Yeah, it does. After 7 years,
everything, and that's the thing that's so crazy is everything is the exact same.
Yeah, it's the exact same.
Yep. Yeah. And people and that's no bullshit trying to have this
perfect.
Yeah, we got our shit. You know what I'm saying? We get upset. We human.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, 97% of our relationship, we chilling.
Just like this.
We're chilling, talking shit.
People watching.
Watching CNN.
Watching CNN. Undisputed on Fox Sports.
Man, talk to me. playing with the babies.
Playing with our dogs.
Sleep.
We take our naps around here.
Hit me in the yard.
Yeah, I talked to them in the last vlog about you, like in the yard.
Yeah. So I mean, we're doing what people in love do.
Yeah.
And what married couples do. We're like I say, building, trying to get better. Growing. Trying
to conceive.
Yes, Lord.
A lot of knocking the boots.
Knocking the boots, Gina.
Yeah, we're us. This is our story.
This our thing, and hey, you can't buy this shit in the store. Okay? You can't buy this shit.
No.
Now this is a goddamn lottery ticket. And I was anonymous.
Oh my God. So, that's it though for our story. Maybe we can have more of a story time some other time, maybe talking about what led us to trying to conceive.
I think that's what you
changed
need to do.
us.
I think I'm gonna add another sponsor on here. We'll have story time. No, let's have tea time.
We're gonna have tea time with Tanya and Dion.
Tea time.
Tea time with Tanya and Dion.
Talking shit.
So we'll implement that for you guys. If you have some topics that you want us to implement now that we're doing this new series or whatever, Tea Time with Tanya and Dion, please leave it down in the comments section if you'd like us to touch on something
I'm going to tell you what tea time going to be just randomly.
Yeah, it'll be random story time. So if you have any suggestions.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We shaking on it?
Okay.
So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about us, enjoyed our love story. I hope it inspired love all out there, right? Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. I hope you guys are all in love somewhere.
And if you ain't in love, you just trying to get yourself.
Oh my God, sit back.
Oh,
no. If you're not in love, if you're not dating, let our story be the one to tell you, like, sometimes it just pops up on you and it takes your breath away.
Not every stranger is a bad person.
Not every stranger is a bad person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let this be a lesson to you that love comes when you least expect it.
I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Is this to be still recorded? I really can't see anything.
Okay.
so we can.
Look, I'm getting you a bossy.
Yeah, this is the picture that's gonna show up. Tripping.
Yeah, you tripping.
Why?
I don't know. Spit that shit out.
I paused because stop messing up. I gotta edit up all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Music.
Insert music here.
Do it over for the people.
No. Is it recording? Yeah. And you look good.